We are now in orbit above Byzantium, Captain.
Can we talk?
Since we're in Byzantium, there's something I've been meaning to do. I haven't actually talked to my folks in a while. Shocking, right? Anyway, it's probably about time I paid them a visit. Given the dangerous life I lead, they've got to be worried sick. Which brings us to where we are today. Several messages and a few years late. See, I'm originally from Byzantium, born and raised. I know that probably comes as a big surprise. But I worked so hard! I dropped the accent, picked up a swagger, developed a taste for Spacer's Choice. Maybe I could skip a few more showers, drink milk straight from the jug. Yeah, I'll try that. Thanks. In any case, this'll still be a shock to my parents. I bet they'll barely recognize me. Reconnect is a strong word. And, I was thinking you'd come too. Great. And when we get there, draw out your rough edges a bit. If you've got an outfit you haven't washed in a while, maybe one with some blood stains, wear that one. You're the boss. Anything else?
Do you mind? I'm meeting someone. Shh. No names, okay? The Phoenix is a wanted man, and the board has eyes everywhere in Byzantium. Yeah, you're looking to make contact with Minister... Magpie, right? I should warn you, it won't be easy. He spends most of his time in his estate, which is heavily guarded. Afraid not. He almost never leaves his home, and his guards never leave him. Whoa, I'm not one of your B&E specialists. I just provide intelligence. Some of the guards hang around Billingsley's House of Inebriation between shifts.
House of Inebriation? Count me the hell in!
Maybe you could do some reconnaissance there. You know, swipe a key while nobody's looking. Just remember, you didn't hear it from me. I've always been fascinated by birds. If you ever research Earth species, there are thousands of them, so colorful and distinct.
All of them trying to eat you, I'd wager.
The other thing about birds, though, is their environmental indicators. Exactly. I started thinking about everything we see around Halcyon, and all the things we don't see. For starters, you rarely come across anyone living in Byzantium who wasn't born here, even though we get ships in all the time.
Trust me, anyone with a lick of sense gets out of here as soon as possible.
But most people don't. In fact, most people stay exactly where they start. Doesn't that seem strange to you? And then there's the way nothing gets fixed. There used to be a suggestion box around here. People would drop ideas in. Nothing ever came of them, of course. Sure, that part is. That's why they install shredders in those boxes, after all. But one day the shredder broke. No one came to fix it. And since it wasn't working, we didn't have anywhere to file our complaints. So you can imagine how messy things got. At first, management put up an out-of-order sign, but that just seemed to worry people, like they were advertising something wasn't working. They eventually took the whole suggestion box sign down so that people didn't have any expectations about it. But they never fixed it, never replaced it. Doesn't that seem odd to you? I don't know how else people are supposed to complain about things they can't change, but that's not the point.
If things are broken here, of all places, then I'm starting to think there ain't a hope left in this colony.
Things have kept on running this long, right? Or so I used to think. The whole episode made me wonder, if they can't fix something as simple as a suggestion box, what else aren't they fixing? After a while, I got connected with our mutual friend and started using my position here to feed him information when I could. That's it, really.
Why can't something exciting happen around here for once?
Nothing wrong with stability. It means everything's running like clockwork.
Don't you ever want to?
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Want to be famous?
According to local legend, if you walk around the orrery 3 times, your corporate rival will die of a paper cut.
Ugh,
Spacer's
Decadence
choice.
ain't gonna save you when beasts shoot through the walls.
I'm afraid I can't come down anymore, my good man. I'd have to request a counter waiver, and you know how dreadful the paperwork is. Sounds like ever.
All right, how does this sound?
Citizens, today marks a monumentous occasion in the course of Halcyon history. After a deep and thorough examination of our budgets, revenue streams...
If they'd sent money to Monarch instead of building even one...
There's my parents' place. Smell that? Industrial grade.
Marilyn, is that you?
Laws, we certainly didn't expect to see you like this.
And I didn't expect you to renew your marriage contract. But we're all full of surprises today, aren't we? Speaking of surprises, you should meet my new friend. We've been running around the system for a while now, stirring up all sorts of trouble. I don't know what to say. He's usually not like this. Come on, you're supposed to help me make an impression. Anyway, you're probably wondering where I've been all this time.
Not exactly.
The last few years have been a bloody haze. You wouldn't believe the messes we've gotten ourselves into. Right? Yep, we're a pair of disgraceful lowlifes.
Marilyn, this really isn't the best time. Perhaps you should go.
We'll stay as long as we like. And while we're at it, we'll drink your expensive hooch, wear our outside shoes all over your nice floors. He's right. Since when can you afford authentic Terran marble?
That's what we've been trying to tell you, dear, but you must understand, we hadn't heard from you in ages.
We thought you were dead.
I'm not dead. I just never wanted to talk to you again.
I'm afraid the distinction was lost on us, darling.
We only did what any grieving parents in our position would do. We collected on your life insurance policy.
And the payouts have been rather, substantial.
You what? Well, now that I'm here, I guess you'll just have to report back that I'm very much alive and kicking.
It's not that simple. For one thing, we'd have to cut back on so many necessities. The neighbors would be sure to notice.
Why did you do that?
We had to explain your disappearance somehow.
We couldn't very well tell people you'd run off to become a miscreant, could we? Shh! Someone could hear you.
We concocted a story about Celeste Jollycurl designing a pair of 12-inch heels for you.
One of a kind, naturally.
That led to your tragic death when you tripped and broke your neck.
It was quite the story. People were talking about it for weeks.
Couldn't you have at least made up a better story? Something with pirates or Raptidons? And what are you gonna do now that we're here?
Yes, about that. We were just about to ask you to, leave.
Quietly, if you don't mind.
Well, we're trying to avoid further embarrassment.
I'm afraid it would cause quite a stir if the neighbors saw you two stomping about.
That's it? You just want us to disappear now?
Marilyn, please.
Don't cause a scene.
Let's just get out of here, Captain. Fine. I'm gone. Forever this time. let's talk outside.
What do you think you're doing?
Returning fire!
Don't hurt me!
So, Harlow was rottener than week old Forrest. Big surprise.
Can you believe those two? We'd hardly been there a minute and they turned us out like yesterday's garbage. I thought they'd be scandalized. They'd both be sitting there watching one of their vapid aetherwave dramas, and then we'd walk in. Mother would drop her mock apple cider, and the glass would shatter all over their overpriced marble. Father would tear off his glasses and blink open-mouthed. I'd have a great one-liner in the tube. I was thinking either, the leather's fake but the scars are real, or, oops, did I just track awesome onto your rug? I'll consider that a compliment. Now, getting back to my story. Father would throw his hands up, because this would be just like me, to come back and make a big scene. Then, Mother would do the old, "You had us worried sick." Her eyes would be red, and she'd have her fist in front of her mouth to stifle a sob. I just didn't want to get booted out of the house I grew up in like that. It's embarrassing, you know. And I've got a reputation to maintain. Hey, the last thing I want to do is sit around thinking about all this. I want to take action. I want to... Wait a second. What if I could get that money? I could open a new account, designate that account holder as a sole beneficiary. All the payouts would go to me. I'll make money without doing a thing. And I'll get to cut them off. My policy is with the Greater Halcyon Insurance Group. They have an office in Byzantium. Maybe you could use some of your people skills to help me set up a dummy beneficiary account. If that doesn't work, I'm sure we can find one of their terminals and do it ourselves. Something on your mind?
You grew up in Byzantium, right?
Don't rub it in.
Oh, don't get all prickly. I just haven't met someone who left the high life on purpose.
I'm from there, but I'm not really from there, if you follow.
Corruption? Does nothing in this city work any... more. I'm on my legally allotted break. Really, I'm supposed to be here.
The dissonance actually...
I guess we're going to Fallbrook.
Ooh, down there, a new ship. Doesn't look like any of the corporate freighters.
But what would they be doing?
Anti-Cleo's Energizer Point. Enjoy 6 cups with concentrated caffeine in every dollar.
Hey, stand back, you. I'm part of Minister Clark's personal detail, and that means you gotta keep 5 feet back at all times. Of course not. But I'm not on the job right now. The others took me out to celebrate on account of me just getting hired and all. He's basically the most important person in the colony, which makes me the most important guard in the colony. Yeah. That means I got a key the minister's estate, my own personal UDL-issued shotgun. They don't give those out to just anyone. That's right. Not just anyone is allowed to have a key to Minister Clark's residence. It's all so very high level. Oh, he's, medium height with, like, medium-colored hair and, like, a kind of a medium face. Just like in his posters. Oh, you definitely recognize him if you saw him. He's very important. That's a great idea! I'll have a Spectrum vodka. Here's to me! Hey, you were really great. Have I told you that? We should be friends. Wow, listen to me. I'm soaked. I should probably slow down before I'm face down on the tile somewhere. Who am I kidding? I could have another. You got another? It's not every day you get your dream job, right? Wow, you got like this crazy energy. Has anyone ever told you that? You're like a manosaur. You got a manosaur energy. Oh, Laws, I gotta stop. I'm seeing at least 2 of you.
Only 2? You got a ways to go.
Have you always been here? I didn't see you a minute ago. I really shouldn't. I'll have the worst hangover tomorrow if I don't stop.
Nonsense. You've got another in you. Doctor's orders.
Guess I can't argue with that. Ugh. Was that one supposed to taste like Purple Berry Crunch? Or am I just tasting breakfast? I don't feel so good. I think I'm gonna be sick. I just need to sit down.
What was it like being one of them top runners?
Hey, my parents and their gold-shitting friends are top runners, not me.
It wouldn't shock me if those fluffed up hull heads actually did pass gold.
They've got pills for that. And that's not even the weirdest thing I've seen.
It ain't? Well, now you've got my interest.
You must be joking.
This property is off limits. Solicitors, loiterers, and uninvited visitors will be fined to the fullest extent of company policy. This ultimatum brought to you by Universal Defense Logistics. That's funny. The minister isn't expecting visitors, and you don't much look like one of those couriers from HPS. Minister Clark's a private man, and you're asking too many questions.
Their mistake.
Get him!
I ever tell you about this one patient? One had her eyebrows moved up and the tip of her nose raised.
What? Why? Is she trying to disguise herself? Is she on the run or something?
So she'd always be looking down on everyone.
You are making that up.
You gotta teach me that.
Machine life seems awful cushy. Could get myself used to kicking back for a spell.
It's all paperwork, ass-kissing, and stuffy parties where everyone eats too much.
An overabundance of food sounds just fine to me.
Not when you're on call, pumping stomachs all night.
And we're stalking, and we're stalking.
What? What was that?
Here they come!
Huh?
Good. Incoming!
You just slaughtered those guards, and for what? To speak with me? What could possibly be so urgent?
So, this is one of the guys who runs the colony, huh? Small room for a big shot.
If this is about another aetherwave clip or radio spot, you may kindly fuck off, as the parlance goes. I'm not doing any more. Drugs, of course. What else would it be? I don't have any drugs. You should try a vending machine or a purveyor of curative goods.
I don't know if our chemicals are here, but this guy is definitely not.
Will that be all, then? Oh dear, I don't think I can say this any more slowly. Unless... Of course. It's Rockwell again, who else? And I thought he was only holding me here to keep me out of the way. You are a quick study, indeed. I've long suspected Rockwell of transacting business in my name, but this proves it.
Yeah, sure. It's always someone else who ordered the hookers and energizing ointment.
Please, this is important. Whatever it is that brought you here, Rockwell's the one behind it. Whatever Rockwell's doing, he'll be doing it from the HHC headquarters. Your best lead is to look for details in his office.
This colony's problems have always seemed to trickle down from the top. If we're set on fixing Halcyon, that's as good a place as any to start.
Exactly. And fix it we must.
We really gonna do this? Getting involved is a messy business, and it rarely pays.
This is about more than bits. This is about the survival of the colony. If you don't help, who will? Why, this is starting to sound like an issue of Dissident Hunter. Via the Acropolis District, of course. That's where the most important corporate and government facilities are. But only board employees are allowed into the district. There's a heavily guarded checkpoint just down the street. There might be a route through the maintenance tunnels, but I'm afraid I don't know specifics. Most people avoid the area for obvious reasons. When you reach the HHC building, this access card should get you up to the executive suites, where the chairman's office and what used to be my office are. Wait! Rockwell has one of the only terminals capable of transmitting to the Earthbound message drone. This is our chance. Please, take this and transmit it from his office. Rockwell hasn't given me any messages from Earth for years. He's desperate to keep me out of contact with the Earth Directorate. But they need to know what's happening here. What isn't on it is the real question. I've gathered meeting minutes, internal messages, sustainability reports, and more, all exposing the corruption and mismanagement plaguing Halcyon. Once the rest of the Earth Directorate sees it, they'll have to send help.
You're awful trusting for a guy who's been locked in his own house for years.
The Earth Directorate is our best hope. Even Rockwell's resources are no match. And it is hardly in their interest to let Halcyon crash. Perhaps there is hope after all. And now I entrust it to you. Good luck, and trust no one in the Acropolis District.
Thought I saw something.
They got the drop on us.
Bring them down!
Don't mess with us.
Something.
Incoming, Captain! Here we go! Bring them down! That was fun! Oh, you are in for that. Just like that. Covering you.
Just goes to show you never really see your hometown until you travel with a visitor.
Good afternoon. I'm Chairman Rockwell, and I'm here to address a serious issue facing us. As you all know, our colony has been successful beyond our wildest dreams. Unfortunately, we've recently discovered that our food supply will not be able to sustain Halcyon's population in the long term. Everyone will die. Everyone will slowly stop living from malnutrition. But we're doing it together, and that's what matters. I fucking swear, if someone doesn't give me something to read that will placate the masses soon, all of you will find yourselves violently unemployed. But I can assure you there's nothing to fear. We've got a solution. It's called the Lifetime Employment Program. We will freeze most of the colony to preserve resources, while the best and brightest of Byzantium continue living in prosperity. Look, you idiots! How many times do I have to tell you we can't say shit like that? Fire whoever wrote this! While Halcyon's brightest minds solve the problem of our nutritional shortage, the rest of the colony will be placed in suspended animation. Individuals will be revived on a rotating basis, so that every Halcyonite can be part of the important work of saving our colony. By testing paperweights. Sorry, couldn't resist. Let's go again. And someday, in the not-too-distant future when we've solved this crisis, we'll all be back together again working for the good of Halcyon. Until then, the board shall provide for the deserving just as it always has. So, obey your supervisors, take your vitamins, follow your corporate-mandated grooming rituals, and rest assured with the board on your side, there is nothing to worry about.
Guess the whole colony's up a creek. I thought it was just Monarch.
I don't know about you, but I'm all for living fast and dying young.
What did I tell you? Harlow's down with the man shtick was just an act. No one who yammers that much means half of it. Take a page out of my rule book. Don't trust anyone. Then it's easy. Don't get all mushy on me now. Come on, what did we just learn? People look out for their own interests. It's a fundamental law of nature, same as gravity and conservation of motion. See, this is what I like about you. You may not be from here, but you fit right in. You're not helping the scientists because you think that crackpot will save the colony. And here I thought I'd seen it all. This galaxy must be bigger than I'd thought. Enough about Harlow, though. Anything else?
What was that?
What's this I hear about you ordering more tests performed with sample 4157? That back.
Keep your eyes out for distance.
What was that?
Hey, I saw that.
No visitors allowed, citizen. I'm going to need to see some identification. Sure. I've heard that one before. Oh, stop. Stop. I don't want to hear anymore. Just don't let me catch you again without your ID, okay?
fault.
Big mistake.
Bring him down! No, please! I don't want no trouble!
Rizzo's not allowed for. Unbeaten and terminated
Oh, no! I think I saw it.
I am a storm!
Spacers.
Covering you!
Anti-Creo's mouth.
We're not getting through. Watch out! Open fire! That's pissing it off! That's the last of it.
Some crew members are causing a disturbance on the ship. You have a message from Adjutant Sophia Akande.
No one ever looks quite the same in person as they do in my reports. And my reports of you have been exceptionally thorough. You've had quite a career. I've been keeping up with you ever since Emerald Vale. Now that was an interesting piece of work. A rundown backwater, barely worth the ink on a map. Until you showed up. When you cut off power to Edgewater, you saved me a great deal of trouble. Now I don't have to bother trying to save that town. All this happened because some mysterious stranger fell out of the sky. Not always. For the longest time, I could never be sure if you were on our side or against us. You should be back on the Hope, frozen in a hibernation chamber. Yet here you are, flying about in a stolen ship, leaving a trail of paperwork in your wake. The board doesn't know what to make of you. But I do. I've seen your potential. There's so much we can do for this colony. You have something I want. I'd like to negotiate. Phineas Wells is wanted by the board. I want to convince you to turn him in to us. He has a litany of charges against him. Vandalism, illegal experimentation, sedition. I could go on. Wells is a dangerous madman. His plan is going to endanger everyone in Halcyon. He's an obsessive psychopath. And he's using you. You're in contact with Wells. I want you to send us a tracing signal from his communication terminal. You are making a serious mistake.
Adjutant Akonde's call has been terminated. Will there be anything else, Captain? We're now in orbit above Stellar Bay, Captain.
Hey, sorry about your folks.
I'm just sorry I forgot to search the liquor.
Yes. Knock, knock.
This looks like the place. Ready?
I see you're still in one piece. However, you never know when that could change. Consider our accidentally torn into tiny fragments coverage. Note that all of your fragments must be recovered and must be smaller than a standard bit cartridge for the payouts to kick in. I remember that one. That's the young socialite who broke her neck, right?
Of course, no one remembers me for the marauders I've killed or the bits I've stolen. Typical.
That claim was airtight. Our best investigators couldn't find an exclusion for that one. You can't, of course. Only Miss Fenhill can assign her beneficiaries. And she's dead. If we let every friend, relative, and acquaintance change a policy like that, people would do it all the time. Imagine the paperwork. Oh, you mean hypothetically? Well, hypothetically, you'd access the terminal in the back room that contains data on all our policies. And you'd, theoretically, add the beneficiary of your choice. But you wouldn't actually do that, of course. That would be fraud. Please, my policy only covers paper cuts and wrist strain. Very well, I'll do it, but then you've got to go. Confrontations like this will raise my premiums. I'll need the name of the new beneficiary.
Ellie Fenhill?
If you say so. The payouts will flow exclusively into the new account at the start of the month. I hope Ms. Fenhill enjoys her newfound prosperity.
A word, Captain?
You really did it. Give these payouts a few years and I'll be rolling in it. Hey, you did the real work. All I had to do was not be dead. I'm just glad my folks aren't gonna live off that awful story they made up. Maybe now they'll have to go back to real jobs. Sure. You did my job, so here's your fee. Don't make it weird. Even you've got to be in it for the money now and then. Why else would you go through all this trouble? You sure? Because my kind of friends will pick your pocket clean while they're getting hammered with you. Yeah. I'm not trying to get all mushy or anything. Still, maybe you've got a point. Maybe it's good to watch someone's back now and then so that one day they watch yours. So, you just keep the money. One of us has to look out for your interests. Don't mention it. Really, this feels weird enough as it is.
Now that you're all high society, you gonna start shitting gold too?
Are you kidding? I'll eat my bid cartridges before I waste them on shit like that.
We stick together after all this? I'll hold you to that.
I just might. Someone's gotta watch your ass.
Welcome aboard, Captain. The Groundbreaker has approved our request for docking, Captain. You're free to disembark.
Spectrum Vodka. C&P Borston Baked Beans. When you need to eat and run, Borston the only one.
That gas is going to make us a fucking mint. 120-some cubic meters of it, at 1,000,000 bits a pop. Take this. You've earned it. When we get buyers lined up, I'm gonna buy a gold toilet to shit in. Monarch isn't exactly a walk down the lanes of Byzantium. But here you are with all your limbs attached. Call me impressed, contractor. I guess you're just one of the lucky ones. Look on the bright side. You just started and you're already on the path to a promotion. You've been keeping busy. I hear you took on some extra work at Fallbrook. Catherine sounds pleased as a pig in shit over cornering the Borst markets. Hey, when you were at the slaughterhouse, those swine didn't give you any strange looks, did they? I knew it. I'm probably getting worked up over nothing. Just try not to think about pigs. You never know, you know? I've got a lot on my mind, but it's nothing that concerns you. At least, not yet. I have another job lined up, assuming you're still interested in work. They're gonna salvage me a space station. Heliospheric Research Station 1084, to be exact. I want it. Cobwebs and all. Interested?
Sounds like a major business expansion. It pays to get in on those early, you know.
This opportunity won't come around again, Captain. Here, this override bypass should get you into the station's systems where you can plant my flag. And one last thing. When you get there, make sure you aren't followed. We wouldn't want that. Glad we understand each other. I'm on the heels of something big. Play your cards right and I'll clue you in, but right now, I'm not sure who I can trust. Just be careful. Someone might try and use you to get to me.
CNP near maple syrup. It's near this complete breakfast.
You know that sound when you've snapped on an injector clip? Ah, that's how you know your weapon loves you back. Ellie, my, but it's been a while. How's that whisper muzzle working out for you?
I sold it. Didn't seem to make me any quieter.
That mod was for your gun, not your smart mouth.
You want to bust my chops? Do it over drinks next time I'm on station.
Please don't mind her. Everything I sell works as advertised. Some people just like to sass me because I don't bite back.
Looking for some Spacer's Chaw? It's recommended by 11 out of 10 Spacer's Choice medical professionals. Don't take my word for it. See for yourself. Make a choice. Spacer's Choice. Heard of it? My orientation aether wave showed that famous Saltuna cannery, which I'm sure smells as good as it looks. I'd have to go over my contract, but I don't think I'm allowed to leave Groundbreaker. Or this stall. So, what can I get you? Some soap? Everyone loves soap. Everyone will love you for using it, too. Have a look.
Rizzo's lemon. Your whole family tonight.
Some crew members are causing a disturbance on the ship. We are now in orbit above Byzantium, Captain.
Here they come! To shreds, you say?
If I spit, think I can hit that mechanical?
Anti-Creo's visual mastery.
They got the drop on us.
Do not operate heavy machinery for 2 hours after application.
Don't hurt me!
Thought I saw something.
Open boat! Nice one!
System beginning.
They're on it. Anyone else?
Don't hurt me! I don't want to die.
I don't want to die! No! Please don't! I'm sorry! I'm sorry!
That was fun! I am a get on! Score, Cap!
Oh no! I don't want to die! I don't want to die!
Rizzo's purple bird punch.
Take him down!
No, please! I don't want no trouble!
Just like that! Covering you! Bring you! How about that?
Some We've reached HRS-1084, Captain. It's emitting a very weak docking signal. I almost mislabeled it as normal etheric static. I think I'll initiate an unscheduled rest cycle while you're out.
Think there's a generator somewhere? Sure are a lot of charging automechs. What are the chances they're
Oh, I see you have activated your holographic shroud, Captain. Excellent. Becoming indistinguishable from an authentic UDL trooper will prove advantageous to your current situation. A UDL vessel has been tracking our position and just recently docked with the station. They are patching into the station's transmission lines now. I cannot stop...
I've been waiting for this day since we tagged your ship in Cascadia, Captain. Wait, who are you? No one told me we had security forces deployed on the station already. Roger that. Just as a precaution, I'm sure you won't mind if we turn on the station's security systems. Can't be too careful. We'd hate to leave this location undefended after a close call with outlaws. Shit. Thanks for the warning. Last thing I need is to get fined for overriding security on a restricted station. My team and I will just head out then.
The UDL gunship is undocking from the station. They appear to be departing into space.
Nice. I've never been great at de-escalation.
What's up?
Watch your step.
Never meet the people responsible for this. I'm shooting first, never asking questions.
done. Now let's go get our money before Sublight sees what a creepy dump this place is.
Chartrand is that scientist, right? From Cascadia?
I believe I hear Felix and Parvati discussing the latest Aetherwave serial. Destination reached. The Groundbreaker. Captain, I wish to offer my commendations for convincing the UDL's gunship to leave HRS-1084. I did not favor the idea of being stripped and sold for parts.
Finally, a base of our own. Soon we'll have eyes on every corner of the system. Well done, Captain. I'll have those dismantled. You can never be too careful when moving into someone else's territory. Aside from the automated security, did you meet any resistance at the station? I knew it. They've been shadowing us since Monarch, maybe even longer. I've been less than honest with you. Your assignments weren't strictly about the salvage business. You might have figured that out already. After the Monarch job, I started connecting the dots. I didn't like the picture. Then what we found at Station 1084 confirmed my fears. You and I have stumbled onto something big. Something none of us were meant to know. Glad to know it, Captain. Ask yourself why a skeleton crew was studying that Alta Vitae gas in secret. Ask yourself why stockpiles were hidden on a planet full of monsters. Before we go any further, I want you to keep an open mind. Can you do that for me, Captain? Aliens. I'm talking about aliens. They're the ones responsible for the deaths at 1084, and who knows what else. We have to put a stop to it. Hear me out. I'm saying it's aliens. I'm not asking you to like it. I'm not even asking you to believe it. But I need to act on this threat to the colony, and I can't do it alone.
Well, at least she doesn't expect us to believe it.
Right. I'm done. I'm officially tuning you out until such time as I hear the words payment and/or shooting.
The crew is skeptical. That's good. I don't want you walking into the unknown with blindfolds on. I assume you have questions? You took that better than I thought. Dr. Chartrand is the crooked psychopath behind the gas experiments. She sold out her species, and I need you to put a bullet through her skull.
Straight to business, huh, Captain?
This keycard will get you through the front door of her Byzantium estate. Don't ask how I got it. You might not like the answer. By now, the other side knows what you're doing. Don't trust anything Chartrand says. She's compromised down to the bone. Maybe even deeper than that.
BNP, I can't believe it's not yours. It's unbelievable how good it is.
Back for a rest? Space adventuring is tiring work. We have successfully arrived at Phineas's orbital lab, Captain, and we are still in one piece. Shall I congratulate myself? Or would you like to do the honors?
I've kept myself busy in your absence, optimized my formula. I'm now confident I can revive the remaining colonists. All I need now is the dimethyl sulfoxide. I'll take as much as you can give me. What? Oh, yes, well, that's obvious. Anyone with 2 working lamps can see this colony's slouching toward oblivion. Why do you think we've been doing all this? I revived you to help me save Halcyon from annihilation. Hold on. Let me see if I understand this correctly. You're saying that Halcyon's on the brink of total collapse? And the chairman's plan to save all of us is to save himself? I always knew Halcyon was heading toward a systems collapse, but I never imagined we were already there. The board made this crisis, and now they want to solve it by freezing the rest of us? That's not a plan. That's a goddamn escape clause. That makes 2 things we don't have. Time and chemicals to revive the other settlers. None of this was supposed to happen. I was supposed to revive the Hope's colonists. We were supposed to have enough time to solve the problem before we all starved. Human test subjects. Oh, that's grotesque. That's unthinkable. That's exactly what I'd expect out of the board. Thank you. You've brought me enough chemicals to get started, at least. I'm just sorry they came at the cost of human lives. Those poor people, they must have died in agony. What exactly was the board trying to accomplish? You say the board's trying to freeze their subjects over and over again without inflicting permanent damage? Well, they're nowhere close to solving that problem. I'll tell you this much. The board scientists are hopelessly lost. After years of fruitless experimentation, they've made exactly 0 progress. Yes, I bet they did. The board scientists are more worried about pleasing their superiors than making real advancements. We're out of time. We're out of chemicals. We may very well be out of options. If the board has their way, we're all going to be spending the rest of our lives frozen in stasis. Do you realize what this means for the Hope? For your fellow colonists? The board's going to kill them all. Toss them out into space, just to make room in their hibernation chambers. Short of lining up every member of the board and shooting them in the back of the head. Do you know what's waiting for us on the Hope? Scientists, engineers, artists, the brightest minds Earth ever sent us, uncorrupted by the board. The board's going to dispose of them all and transform the Hope into a prison for the rest of us. They're likely on their way to the Hope as we speak. We need to get to those colonists before the board. I have enough chemicals to start reviving a few of them, but no easy way to get them off the Hope. Merciful gibbering law, you're a genius! We bring the Hope to us. Skip the entire ship across the distance of colony space, right next to my lab. Yes, exactly. You're a step ahead of me, but I perceive the shape of your plan. If we link up the Hope to the Unreliable, then use your navigational computer to calculate a reasonably safe vector, we can skip the entire colony ship into the rings of Terra 2.
I've got a healthy disregard for personal safety, but this sounds crazy, even to me.
Your instincts are correct. By any reasonable definition of sanity, this plan is crazy. Isn't it wonderful? You'll need to switch on the Hope's auxiliary power using the Unreliable. Then head to the bridge. Your navigational computer, Ada, should be able to activate the Hope's skip drive. Once you've skipped the Hope next to my lab, I'll have easy access to the frozen colonists. I can start reviving them immediately. I know you're wondering why I'm doing all this. Why I believe the people on the Hope are the answer to the colony's problems. The Hope is carrying some of humanity's most brilliant thinkers, scientists, engineers, experts in their field. If we work together, we can still find a way to save Halcyon. The board would have us believe Halcyon is beyond saving. I choose to believe otherwise. If there's even the slightest chance we can save Halcyon from oblivion, then we have to take it. Never know what being frozen did to your brain. There's always a chance you might turn violent. I've no desire to end up like Thompson. Regardless, it's quite comfortable in here, you know. I have my beans, have my caffeinoids, plenty of toilet paper. Certainly. How can I help? It wouldn't surprise me. When I pulled you out of the Hope, the board nearly intercepted me. I expect they stepped up security since my little act of larceny. Skip drives were never designed to be used within a system, but I skipped my ship across Halcyon when I rescued you, and that turned out fine, mostly. That is, I ruined my ship and nearly killed myself in the process, but the maneuver was well within acceptable margins of risk. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Unlikely. The Hope is as massive as the Groundbreaker, but compared to the rings of Terra 2, positively minuscule. The board might notice, possibly, depending on the position of their heads relative to the depth of their collective posteriors.
And skip it. Across the system? What could go wrong?